I think I'm going to have to start all over again. Is that okay? Because I'm going to ignore that recording. I had an alarm in between for some reason, which didn't make any sense. But so we're talking about the design part. Steps that the program will take to guess the number that the player has thought about. So in step 1 we will say, let's print a message. We'll say think of a number between 1 and 100. And then we will print the first guess, which will be 50. And it will always be, we will need to declare variables, low, high, and average. And we will set the value of low to 1, the value of high to 100, and compute the average by using low plus high divided by 50. And then we are going to need one more input. We're going to say, when we print the first guess, we will say, is the number 50, enter 0 if guessed correctly, 1 for lower, and 2 for higher. Because I want that input from the user at this point. So if the user says 0, if 0, then exit the program. And the way to exit a Java program is to say system.exit 0 or something like that. Right? And if 1, that means what? The number is lower, which means what? That I should be looking between number is between 1 and 49. And if it's 2, then number is between 51 and 100. Yes? Do you guys agree? If the number is higher or lower than the average, then that's how I'm making my guess. So I'm going to say high is equal to what? Average minus 1. And if Ali said number is higher, then I'm going to say low is equal to average plus 1. You see how that will play out in the code? This is designing. So I don't want to start writing code and then in the middle of my construction I'm figuring out, oh gosh, the pathway is wrong, so I have to start all over again. That's like driving in an unknown city without a GPS. It's kind of bad, right? I mean, then you're left to figure out on your own which way to go. And that doesn't make sense. So that's why we design before coding, so we have a map of some sort. So then I say, once I get that input, then what is my step 3? Print the second guess. And the second guess really all depends on what? How Ali responded. If he said 0, 1, or 2, right? And I'll say go to step 2. go to step 2 until what? Until number is guessed correct. So there is a loop here also. But in the end, I also want to print if number is guessed correctly, print what? The number of tries it took. So I should have a count variable. I should also have a guess variable, which should be initialized to -1 because the value can be 0, 1, or 2. So I'm going to keep the value of guess. I'm going to keep this value of 0, 1, or 2 in the variable guess. And then I also want another variable that basically tracks count. So every time I step through my guess, I'm going to increment the value of the counter. So then I can say when it's all done, I could say something like this. I guess that in n tries, where n is count, right? Will this be an interesting game to code and get it working today? It won't take more than like 10 minutes. Actually less than that. So let's go to Eclipse and do it. You all understand the algorithm, right? Or the design. You can do design by documenting steps. You could do flowcharts. You could draw diagrams, you know. But I just say write something down so you know the strategy. Now it's just cranking out the code quickly. So somebody try to time me and see if I can do this in like 10 minutes or less. So we'll say new Java project, guessing name. My project is ready for me to code in. Now create a new class, guessing, and I want a main in it. And what all variables do I need now? So this is the fun part of design. I can say let's declare those as integers. Low is 0, high is 100, average is, well, to be computed. Guess is equal to -1 and count is 0. My variables are ready, right? So then we said print a message. Think of a number between this. So this is a message to Ali. Think of a number I will guess the number in 7 or less tries. Why is that giving me an error? Because I have double quotes outside. So there, I've given the instruction, right? So I need to get ready for my first try. So I'm going to declare average also on the top, initialize that to 0, and I'll say average is equal to low plus high divided by 2. So, what was the next thing? Print the guess, right? To make this a little more personable, I can add messages that are a little more user friendly. And I can say, is the number, or I don't know, my way of making it personal is, hey, is the number percent 2D, is it what? Average. Is the number 50? I'm on my first count, right? So, since I printed this out, I'm now going to say count plus 1.
So do we type in everything you have right there?
No, please don't. Watch it. Watch TV. I'm going to post this for you.
Oh.
Think with me. Be my compiler. Tell me if I'm making mistakes. You don't have to type all this. Because I'm going to post it for you. Right?
We're supposed to create a program.
Huh?
Are we supposed to write the program right now? Like, guess?
Yeah, well, we are, right? Together. Hopefully somebody is timing me. You are? You gonna keep me honest, or are you gonna buffer my time? Oh man, I better start working here. Says I have 3 minutes because I spend too much time talking. So is the number 50? I do my increment and then I say what? If so I have to give instructions to Ali here and say enter all this 0 blah blah, right? Enter 0 if you guess correctly, 1 for lower and 2 for higher. And I guess now I need to build a scanner object. Does that work? You all know how to use scanner? So I'm going to say guess is equal to inp dot next int. So he enters 0 or 1 or something, then I say if guess is equal to 0, then what? System.exit with maybe error message 1. Else if, or else if guess is what? If guess is equal to 1, then it was what? Lower. And lower means what? High is equal to average minus 1. Else, if guess is equal to 2, then what? Low is equal to average plus 1. So, do you get this logic? If I've guessed correctly, then I do that. If not, then this entire block applies. If it's 1, which means it's lower, and if it's higher. So now I go in and say what? All that over again. So So this is my first guess. And this is my second guess. This is my third guess. And since I'm running out of time, I'm going to copy and paste this very quickly. I think I might already be out of time here. 7 minutes. So I still have 2.5 minutes. Oh wow, I'm doing pretty good then. Or are you just buffering my time by being nice? She's not, she's like right here. So I have my first guess, second guess, third guess, fourth, fifth, and sixth. And for my last guess, I need to copy it one more time. Isn't this lovely? If you get paid by the number of lines of code you write, this is how you write your code. Right? Because we don't have a loop right now, you see? I'm loopless. So when I'm loopless, this is how I run. Shall we run it? Look at that, I wrote 107 lines of code in less than 10 minutes. I'm done. So you can stop the thing and I beat the clock, right? So is this indented properly and all that? No. I should probably write things in paragraphs. So this is like, beautifying making the code more readable. I think of programming as writing. So you think I'm going to fall flat on the face because there are a few bugs here? Or do you think it's going to work? Ah, I missed one thing. I did not print what? The count. You see? So I missed that statement before the copy and paste. Now I have to copy and paste that 7 times. So system.out.printf what? Still had a few seconds there, right? I guess the number in %d times. And then I'll just print count here. And this should really be done where? Not in the end here, but when we have guessed the number, right? So we'll say begin, end, and that. So if guess is 0, then we say I've guessed the number correctly. I guessed it in so many, so now if I have to go and fix that, I'm going to copy and paste that. Well, not the best way of fixing bugs. I haven't even actually tested this. So.
Professor.
Yes, hi.
Does the program include 1 in 100, or is it exclusive?
No, it includes. Right. Doesn't it say, think of a number between?
Yes.
So that's usually inclusive, right?
Yeah.
So. Okay, so let's see what happens. Think of a number between 1 and 100. Oh boy, look at that. It's not even working.
You
63 lines, it's all one line.
I know. So slash n. So let's start with that first. So is the number, so one of the things is I don't even get a chance to think. And it says, think of a number, is the number 50? So now I'm going to say, no, it's higher. Hey, is the number 75? No, it's lower. So the number that I've really thought about is 55. Right? So that's what I'm playing to. So you guys can observe and see. So the number is lower. So I guess I just entered 1. So is the number 62? No. It's 55. I mean, is it 56? No, it's lower. Is it 53? No. Get to the point. Is it higher? Yes. Is it higher? Yes. Oh yes, finally. And you took 7 times. Right? So it kind of worked. It's not as impressive as, like, with all the formatting. But we can fix that, right? So, or maybe you guys can fix those bugs. It's adding a slash n here and there. So that's the guessing game. And we wrote this code as if we are getting paid by the number of lines of code we write. Because there's so much repetition. Boom, boom, 7 times. But it at least worked. So maybe we can fix those stealthy issues in this. So here is a way to do it. We can copy and paste and do a search and replace. Is there such a thing? There should be a search and replace. I mean, this is a nice Control F. No? Okay, so slash n. This is the fastest 100 lines I think I've written. But it has to be a little more, what I would say, meaningful, right? And if you want the input in next line, then you got to enter a slash n with the command that says enter 0, 1, or 2. So here I'm ready again to play. And this time I'm playing with number, let's say 64. Okay? So I'm going to say it's higher, it's lower. See, I need that slash n there too. You see the problem? Is the number 62. What was the number I was playing on? 64, right? So it's higher.
Is it 68? 63. Oh, I made a mistake. I said it was lower. I'm going to accept that was the number. Because if I try to go beyond 7 times, the program is just going to end. Right? So playing again for 64 and giving the right inputs. Higher, lower, higher, lower, lower, higher, guess correct. Always take 7 times. I'm just thinking of like the most complicated numbers. So, okay? Guessing game. There is one bug which is a /n needs to be added after higher so you can get that input in next line. Now make the program a little more friendly. Yes, please. Question? Okay. I thought you raised your hand. So there we are. Folks, you have your guessing game. I'm sure you'll love going through this, playing with it a little and making it a little bit better. So today we have covered if, else, writing conditions using relational and logical operators. We're going to come back and fix that. You know, instead of writing 130 lines, we should be able to do it in 20. Right? So we're going to do that optimization when we cover the loops in a week or two. So just make sure we don't forget about it. Right? We'll go back and fix it in class. I'll have you guys fix it actually. That'll be more fun than me doing it. So, I create problems, you fix them. Sounds good? That's how you become skilled developers. So, please.
Is that what midterm is?
Huh?
Is that what midterm is? You present a problem and we fix it?
No, midterm is more, I give you a code snippet and you tell me what the output might be, or you write your own program. Or tell me syntax errors in the code without using a compiler. Your exams are open book and notes, so can't be that hard.
Can you use like your website on the computer?
You can use the website, you can use the internet, but it's probably a good idea to focus on the exam. Because Googling too much will just help you lose time. And so it's a poor it's a good strategy from my standpoint, but a poor strategy from yours.
How's it a good strategy from your standpoint?
Huh?
How's it a good strategy from your standpoint?
Because I help you waste time in Googling, whereas you could be focusing on answering questions.
Oh, can I just use the restroom?
Of course. So we've got all this covered. And I've got one more topic I'd like to cover tonight, if I may, focusing on else if, right? So let's say I'm going to write a little program to give you guys grades. So let's do that. We're going to create a new Java project, and we're going to say assign grades. I'll of course load this program for you as well, so you guys can just sit back and watch and act as my compiler, which you guys are so good at. It's always nice to tell the instructor what mistakes he or she is making, right? It's your turn to grade me. So we'll say this program will assign a grade to a student based on their total score. So we'll say that if the the whole mechanism, if A, if your total score is greater than 90, B if it's greater than 80, etc., etc. Get it? I'm going to create a variable called score, and I'm going to assign that to 0, and I'm of course interested in reading input from the user. So I'll create a scanner. You all are good with this now, right? Working with scanner. And I'll say score is equal to what? INP dot next int. So there. So now I can say if score is, I can also declare a grade. We'll say grade char equals F. So by default, all grades are F. If score is greater than 90, then grade is equal to what? A. So of course, we want to write this quickly. We don't have a lot of time. We can say if score is greater than 80, then grade is, what should you get? A B. If your score is greater than 70, you get a C. 60, although this is not my rubric, I'm just making this up. I'll give you an uppercase D, right? Else what? Why is he mad? Oh. Oh, come on. Okay, all the madness is gone. I don't know, I should not be shouting here, right? In uppercase letters. Grade is? Yeah. So now the grade is assigned, so I'll say system.out.printf for score %D, grade is %C. How do you like that?
So is this overriding the character and grades?
It's a formatting criteria, right? So I'm going to print out score and grade, right? I'm just saying how I want my score to be formatted. So we will give that 4 spaces and 2 spaces to the character. You guys ready for your grades?
Why did you have to assign grade to F in the beginning?
Oh, just because I want to initialize, because I'm assuming everybody's going, well, maybe I should think positively. I'll say everybody will get an A.
If your grade is 100, wouldn't it just possibly override it and get D?
I don't know, let's take a look. Let's run the program. So here is a very hardworking student, and she gets 100. Her grade is a D.
Right.
That's what the gentleman said. What's your name?
Brandon?
Brandon said the grade is going to be a D. Now, the program is poor, right? I'm not giving any instructions. So I should say, maybe I should just print this out, because I don't have a lot of time. So I'm going to give some instructions here. And we all promised not to use print line, right? Yes? Say something.
This,
Did you all agree not to use print line
this,
because I said so? So, this program will assign a student a grade based on their total score. So maybe I should say enter score, right, or something. And I should be polite, I should say, please enter your score. So there we go. So now I can say 87. Your grade is a D. Imagine if this was your grader. 95 D. Okay, let's try to see. Maybe if you get a 54, okay, you got an F. This is not good, guys. This bug is like bad. So Brandon, what's the fix?
You can reorder it so it's assigned to D first, and then every time the grade is checked, it's higher.
This will make a good exam question, no? That, hey, the grade is, that's a good fix. I like that. He's saying, you know what, why don't you start with D first, and if you have to do comparisons, you know, compare 60, 70, 80, 90. Right? And that might fix it. That will actually. So, but for this we have this else if clause. That's why I created this problem to show you the job security of else if statement. See, if I use else if, what it's doing is it's saying if grade is A, meaning score is 100 and the first condition is true, then you don't have to compute the rest of this. Ignore it, right? So it's doing the same thing. Another way to fix this, to fix the problem. So I'm going to just use else if. So now watch. That should fix the problem. So a student that got a score of 100, she's now happy. You know, if you get 87, you get a B. Is that good? Are you guys satisfied based on the rubric? I know there's B plus and all that too, but you can program that. So 77, right? Or 68. Now things are in place. So thank God I didn't use that previous one, because you guys would have all sent me emails saying, hey, wait a minute, this doesn't seem fair. And then I would have said, well, those students from 36A wrote the code for me and I'm sorry. No, they helped me fix it actually. All right? Usage of else if. Well, that's one more thing we have covered today. So if I gave you an exam question, why would you use else if? Don't give me the answer to fix the grading system. So, that could be one answer, but give me a real answer. So that's all for today, guys. We will pick up with writing switch statement next time. This is another very interesting decision-making construct. And then we will look at assignment 5. All right, see you all next week, is it? Yeah.